So we have an excellent morning here this morning. Got here nice and early, started a pot of coffee, started a campfire. I think we're about plus 15 this morning. It's nice and cool, kind of warrants having a fire. The smoke keeps the bugs away, those pesky bugs. It's been hot the past few days, been up into the plus 30s, plus 30 degrees Celsius. So I got a few things I want to do around the cabin this morning. I want to get those things finished before the heat of the day comes, and then once that it gets too hot to work, I'm going to go for a little adventure, do some scouting for some camping areas for the hot tenting this fall. I got a couple spots I want to check out, and we'll take a little adventure out that way later on, maybe after lunch. But before that, I want to get that mill going. Get some fuel in it, get a log on it maybe, and do first couple cuts. Maybe make a cant, maybe some boards. We'll see. And there's some grass cutting I have to do around here as well. The grass by the mill is pretty high, so I'll be knocking that down first. And that one blowdown maybe in the corner of the yard there, I might grab that today too. We'll see how it goes. I do have a few logs already that I can start milling with, and that blowdown is still fairly green, so maybe knock the bark off of that and try milling it later on in the fall. See how fast it dries. So this will be the third and final piece for the Bluetti off-grid electrical power source. That is the PV350, and this is the solar panel that accompanies the AC200P, in addition to the expansion battery that I got last time. Today I'm just going to be demoing the PV350 here and the AC200P, how it connects, and if we get enough sunlight we can maybe charge it up a bit here. We got it's cloudy right now, but I suspect later on the sun will be out beaming. But for the time being, we'll try out and see what it can do with the cloudy conditions, and give a demo on how to hook it up. Now once you get your panel situated in a spot that you figure you're going to get the best sun, and you unzip the cords that are in the pouch in the back, you can grab your cords that originally came with the AC200P and remove them, and grab the cables that you need. It should be these ones here. For your solar hookup, and it's fairly simple to hook up. It's color coded, so black on black, red on red. And you can't mix them up because they only fit the one way. And we got quite a bit of cable here, so it goes in here. And it automatically turns on once it senses it's been hooked up to a power source. Now it says here, with the amount of sun that we have, we're generating 3 watts, which is not surprising because it's cloudy at the moment. But I mean, it proves that we're connected. Now, one thing I will add is if you're not set up with the right charging output or input selection on the Bluetti AC200P itself, you'll end up getting a fault. And I'll just kind of demonstrate that here. Do is just unplug it here, and we're not charging anymore. Go to settings, DC input source, and we'll switch from PV over to car, hit back, plug it back in, and we go right into fault. And the fault is 001 PV car over voltage. So we'll get back out of there, I'll unplug, go back into settings, DC input source, switch to PV, get back, we'll plug it back in. And there we go, 3 watts and no fault. So just keep that in mind. If you plug in the panel to your AC 200p and you get that fault, you're probably in the wrong setting. So we'll have to go into settings and the DC input power source and switch it over to PV. So what we'll do for now is we'll leave the unit plugged in for the time being. I know it's kind of overcast right now, and we don't have a whole pile of power for the demo coming into the power station, the solar power station, but it is charging at 3 watts right now, and I suspect once the sun comes out, that'll go up quite a bit more. I kind of tested it out there the other day, or yesterday, and I think I got up to 270 watts in full sun, but you know, probably wasn't quite optimized. I think optimized it'll do 350 watts, but there may have been some clouds floating by, or I may have not had the angle right of the solar panels. So, but anyway, we'll just leave it set up. When the sun comes out, we'll check to see what the power level bumps up to, and go from there. See how much we can get charged. We're at 85% right now, so, or 84% right now, so we'll see how well it does. And this is the first gas. Figured out how to do this here. Best way to do this. Absolutely need a small jerry can when you're doing this. A big jerry can would be so cumbersome right now. It's either that, or you have to get one of those little electric pumps, kind of like what you got at a gas station, with the pump where you can pump from the jerry can into the tank without making a mess. Probably pretty handy. Now this gas here I've got is 94 octane. It's high test gas, so shouldn't have to worry about degrading real fast. I always run the highest octane gasoline I can in my small engines. They seem to run better, and you don't have to worry about them gumming up if they sit for a while. I'll try that. Okay, let's give it its first start. That started up real easy. Now I guess it's time to try it out. Get a log on it, and it says to, although I do have the lubrication system primed, it says not to let any water or lubricant on the blade, so we can kind of break in the belts, and we'll go from there. Okay, it looks like my throttle came undone here. So I'm gonna rig it a bit better here. So I can get better throttle response. Try that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 3/4 inch slabs, boards, 10 feet long, and then that one, the last one was an inch and a quarter thick. I wouldn't been able to mill it, I don't think, because log holder was in the way, so I'll just have to put that in the spare pile and utilize it for something else in the future. But I definitely have a wave issue going on here. It just, the boards are wavy, so I'm gonna have to figure that out, rectify it. I'm not too worried about it. This looks like this wood has got a bunch of bugs going through it, so I know I might be able to utilize it for something. We'll have to see. It's got a kind of a neat look to it, but use it to cover something, or maybe inside the cabin, I don't know. Part of the covering for the wall. We'll have to see. But I'll try and figure out how to correct that wave problem and do a better job next time. And it might have something to do with the belt not having enough tension on it, or breaking in process, or something. I'll have to do some research and looking into it. Thinking I'm gonna have to get a hand brush for this. Ideally, what I should have did is brought my air compressor out and used the bluetti power source and blown this off. Oops. But didn't think of it. I guess a guy could go over this thing with the wrench there another time after running it, see if anything's vibrated loose. What I'll have to do is do a little bit more research on why it's turning my boards into waves, and then go from there. Now we have here some hamburger. We are going to make Bushkateer burgers. Nice ball like that. Two of them. So, let's wait for that grill to get hot. Whew. Holy man, that is hot. But does it ever taste good? This is the best burger I've ever had, I think. It is definitely messy. So pretty productive day so far. Got the Woodland Mills HM122 up and running. Took one of the old logs that had bugs in it and milled out about 7 or 8 boards. A little bit wavy, so I got to figure that out. I'm fairly confident I'll be able to do that. And once I get it figured out, we'll be getting down to business here. I just got to collect some more logs. I've got a couple laying around the property right now. One more that's got a bunch of bugs in it, like the last one, and then one that's been seasoned for a couple years, but because I took the bark off, the bugs didn't get into it. So, and then I got the blow down at the back of the property. A couple more standing dead over this way. So I got a little bit of wood to work with. Play around and get the mill tuned and dialed in to where I want it. I think what I'll do while I'm playing with these logs is I'm just gonna use it for the interior of the cabin here as boards to cover up the insulation. It's wavy, but it's not that bad. I can live with it inside the cabin. It's just to cover up the styrofoam insulation. So, and the bluetti, I ended up putting that away because it was there was thunder and lightning in the distance, and I felt a few drops of rain. So, rather than get caught out in the rain with it, I decided to pack it up and throw it into the cabin for now. I was kind of hoping that the sun would be breaking out, but it looks like it's getting more and more overcast. So I'll have to pick another day to get some good charging in. But you got the gist of how it works. The important part is when you connect it up, before you connect it to the AC 200P, is to make sure you hit the proper setting for DC input source. It should be to the PV setting rather than the car setting. If you have it on the car setting and you plug that solar panel in, you'll get a fault. And it's not that bad. It's just indicating that it's not the right setting, so it won't charge. And I'm not sure why that's that way. but I'm sure there's some sort, from an engineering standpoint, there's some reason for it. So, but anyway, if you do have problems with getting that 001 code, that's more than likely it when you're plugging in the PV350. That is so good. So I'm at a spot here in the bush. It's an old firewood cutting area. I think it's been abandoned now. Nobody comes back here to cut firewood. It's too hard to get to. Quad trail access only. So I came in on the quad. I known about this place for a while now. I just thought it'd be kind of neat to come out here and do some hot tenting. Try out the hot tent, the winter hot tent here when the snow and it gets really cold. And even in the fall, come here with the lighter duty tent and do some fall camping. I like the idea of having the creek beside me and listening to the creek while I'm out here. Unfortunately, right now there's a bunch of heavy equipment working a few kilometers away, so it's all I can hear right now. So hopefully they'll be done. I think they're just doing a quick reclamation job. I saw signs for reclamation in progress, so they're reclaiming something. So yeah, be a lot nicer out here without the equipment going, but it's a really nice spot, and I'm looking forward to come out and doing some hot tenting. Well, another excellent day at the cabin. Very productive. I'm very happy where the property's ended up at so far this year during project season. Just this spot alone where I'm sitting used to be just bush. Came in here with a mini excavator and clear everything out, level thing out, and then a skid steer after that to really grade it and clean up and then plant some grass seed. I ended up ordering that mill. I think it was still winter time, so there's still snow on the ground. Probably end of February, mid-March. So it sat in the box for a while, for a few months anyway, till I can get it out here and get it assembled. But before that was things like getting the garden going and actually doing the work to get the site ready for the mill. But today was the day, the maiden voyage as it were, first fuel in it and made some boards out of an old log that was laying around the property. So pretty happy with the progress made with the mill, although there is that wavy board issue I gotta look into and figure out how I can rectify that. It shouldn't be a problem. I'm sure it's happened to other people before, and I'll figure out a way to fix it. And the bluetti PV 350 solar panel, it worked. It just the sun wasn't cooperating today. It was too overcast. The sun didn't come out at all. Maybe 2 or 3 times for about a minute or two. Other than that, it was pretty cloudy and overcast. So I think I got up to maybe 25 watts total. And then it started to sprinkle, so I picked it up and put it in the cabin so it didn't get wet. So anyway, we'll have it for another day. Test it out, see if we can get full charge going. And I have no doubt about that because I had it hooked up there yesterday in the bright sun, and we were doing about 270, 280 watts. So I'm not sure why I didn't get up to max capacity. I'm assuming that's at max efficiency, 350 watts. Maybe I didn't have the right angle towards the sun. I don't know. I'd have to research that a little bit more as well, but I'm pretty happy with the way it works. So we're going to have power at the cabin. We're going to have insulation in the cabin, and it's going to be boarded in the cabin. So it should make for a real comfortable winter this year. Nice cold season coming up. I'm looking forward to it. The bugs are starting to come back out. I was out at that spot by the creek there earlier, and I forgot my bug dope and got eaten alive by mosquitoes. It was horrible. There's not so many mosquitoes here at the property, but out by that creek, it was pretty damp and lots of brush and lots of places for them to cohabitate and live, right? So that said, I think that's it for today. Had an excellent lunch with the Bush Couture burgers. Those are my favorite out here. I didn't have any French fries this time. 2 of those burgers hit the spot. I was pretty hungry at that point, so yeah, I got to figure out that mill. So I think that'll do that for today. It was a full day today. We did work and play. Did some scouting from some place to do some camping, hot tenting. I'm looking forward to it. I'd like to thank you for joining me, and we'll talk to you later.